Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel. So here's a short video in which we're gonna talk exclusively about the special effect. So how does this exactly looks like when you get it? So in generally, first let me mention the following. Now if you go watch the stream which I've done today, then you're gonna see I've done a lot of gear crafting, and I also got a lot of gold gear. Yeah. So in other words, this rate of getting these effects from here is extremely low, but then again, the rate of getting actually a gold piece of gear is kind of pretty nice, to be honest. So in other words, let me put now on the screen, how does it look like when you get such a special effect and how exactly do you get it? Because this is absolute in RNG. So the way it works, it's only if you get a piece of gold gear. So if you get that, then you have a chance to get one of these effects. Now you can be absolutely unlucky, or that piece of gear can actually force you to put it on another hero and not exactly on the hero which you plan to, because of you getting that special effect. So in other words, let's presume, for example, we're crafting a piece of gear right now, in this case being the chest. And of course, everybody wants to have the unbreakable, but it's also very possible that you're actually going to get the stealth hologram, which is only 10% damage decrease. So in other words, you were lucky enough to trigger this special effect, but you were massively unlucky by getting such a special effect. Or in other words, you can get, by the way, a magnetizing effect, which means in other words, that piece of gear should be placed on a hero which actually has this type of skill. Or for example, this special effect being so RNG can give you, for example, the flammable, which means for a hero with ignition, it's going to increase the ignition damage. In other words, you have to take this piece of gear and actually put it on a hero which actually has that. I would like to show you something else on top. Now we're slowly reaching the level 100 units, 101, 102, 103, and so on. So from this perspective, let's presume for a second I would have this gold piece of gear on my striker. So that's why I've done a battle report right here. Now let's have a look at it together, because it's all about if I would have striker with 3 rounds of indestructible, what exactly would happen. So that's why I'm going to take Mr. Millie, and Mr. Millie, thank you very much for helping with this battle report. And what we want to do right here, we want to press the replay. Now we won't let the battle replay, but we're gonna take a look here. So you see me where I'm starting with the units, I'm the red line. So you see after the second round, so the 2 waves of indestructible buff are off. So up the second round, I'm at around about 150 units. Now this is the same for him also. He doesn't have this gold piece of gear, and especially doesn't have it with this extra indestructible on striker. And you slowly see how the battle starts to become longer and longer, and that's why we're gonna go also in the battle. So this is the second round. This is exactly how it looks like, and this is the third round in which we both don't have the indestructible buff anymore. And you see, I do indeed have a decent amount of units. In other words, in this example, yes, a 1 round extra of indestructible buff would look pretty awesome, to be honest. Anyways, let's go back to the gear, and let me point out 2 very important things, guys. So first of all is this special effect. Don't stress this about it. Please, everybody which plays this game, especially since they introduced the heavy trooper with the chips. Now, if you remember, they introduced it, and that was a massive chaos, having 7 layers of RNG on top of each other. So if you remember that. So of course, what we have here, a very small rate of getting actually an effect which you most likely won't even need. So this is one thing. And the other one is being, of course, when you are refining gear, it's the same issue right here. So when you're gonna use a gold item, it's gonna be also random. So most likely you won't get the results which you were expecting. So my recommendation for the time being, of course, one of it being first, please go watch the stream again. You're gonna see a lot of gear crafting there, and it's pretty awesome. And the second most important thing, if we take this example with a heavy trooper and the chaos at the beginning with the chips, then my honest recommendation is please take it slowly and give them round about 3 months or something like that, in which they will polish this one more time, and they must reduce a certain amount of RNG layers down, because you see me in a video getting a lot of gold gear, which is good on one side because that gear has to be leveled up and that gear will have pretty decent boost stats, to be honest. But if just in case I'm getting actually this special effect, this is not guaranteed I'm gonna like it, or that's exactly the thing which I actually need. So beautiful people, as always, relax, don't stress yourself. It's always the same song with River Game, and don't forget to see me in the next episode, guys.